I open the door, expecting silence. Comfort home. Instead, chaos greets me. The couch is where I left it. The coffee table still holds yesterday's mug, but my laptop, my heartbeat, my confessions, my world is gone. I freeze. No, 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 no. I drop my bag. My hands shake. My chest tightens like someone squeezing the air out of me. I replay the last words Ethan said. I'll just borrow it for a day. Finish that project you started. Borrow. Borrow. I laugh bitterly. Borrow. He never returned it. I pace, kicking at the rug. My mind screaming, why? Why him? Why now? I grip the edge of the kitchen counter. The betrayal hits like a punch to the gut. Every memory of us flashes, late night talks, whispered dreams, laughter that used to feel like safety. All of it feels like a lie now. I can still hear his voice. Calm, charming, manipulative. You said are overreacting. Overreacting. I close my eyes. The apartment, my sanctuary, feels like a trap. Every corner, every shadow reminds me he was here, touching my things, knowing me so intimately, and taking pieces of me with him. I sit on the floor, hands over my face. The grief is suffocating, heavy, sharp, then anger. Hot, wild, dangerous. How could you? I whisper into the empty room. I imagine him holding it, smirking, thinking he's clever. The thought makes bile rise. But beneath the rage, a spark ignites, something that refuses to stay broken. Maybe this is the chance. The chance to turn all this pain into something he'll never forget. I stand abruptly, my fingers curl into fists, my mind races. I picture confronting him, give it back. I say aloud to the emptiness. I shake my head. No, that's too easy, too clean, not enough. I think of all the little ways he underestimated me, all the times he laughed when I trusted him, all the times I believed in him. I once let him think he won. I sit back down, my breathing sharp. A plan begins to form, not revenge yet, this is just the seed, but it's there, fiery, growing. I can almost feel it in my veins, the justice I'll carve, the lessons he'll learn. I let the silence wrap around me, heavy and electric. The apartment hums with it, like it knows. I whisper again, softer this time. You still regret this, Ethan, I promise. The grief, the rage, the shock, it all mixes into something dangerous, something powerful. I stand, ready to act. My sanctuary doesn't feel like a trap anymore. It feels like the starting line. And for the first time since the theft, I smile. Not because I forgive, not because it steps over, because this story is instead finished. And neither am I. I don't remember walking through my apartment door. All I know is the next moment, I'm on Sophie's couch, shaking, sobbing into her chest. Sha, I'm here, breathe, breathe, she murmurs, holding me tight. He took it. I choke out, my voice breaking. My laptop, everything gone. Sophie strokes my hair, but her eyes are sharp, scanning me like she wants answers I don't have. Ethan? She asks gently. I nod. Words tumble out like shattered glass. He borrowed it. Said he needed it for a day. A day. I laugh bitterly. A jagged, hollow sound. He never gave it back, Sophie. Never. And I thought I knew him. I trusted him. He. I can finish. My chest aches, throat raw. You are trembling, Sophie whispers. Talk to me. I bite my lip, swallowing tears. He always had this way. Charm. A smile. That laugh. I thought it was love. But it was instead. Not really. He didn't instead care. Not about me. Not about my world. Sophie Sepp's hand tightens on my shoulder. Why didn't you see it coming? The words hit me like a slap. My face flushes with shame, anger, disbelief. Why didn't I see it coming? I shout, voice cracking. Do you think I wanted this? Do you think I asked to be blindsided by the person I loved? Her eyes soften. I know, but you have to face it. I pull back, looking at her, stunned. Face it. My hands fly through the air. I trusted him. I let him into everything. My scripts, my secrets, my life. And he stole it. And me. God. Sophie. She doesn't answer right away. She just lets me unravel, and slowly I start to talk in fragments, memories spilling like broken pieces of glass. The first time he kissed me, I thought it was magic, and it was for a while, but then, the lies started. Little ones at first, then bigger. And God, I ignored them. I ignored all of it. My voice breaks again. Sophie hugs me tighter. You sept you're human, he sept you're human too. But right now, let yourself feel. Dawn sept shut down. I shake my head. I don't set want to feel. I just want it back. Everything. All my words. My art. All of it. It was us. Sophie. Not just me, him too. But now it sep's gone. Her silence pierces me, and in the quiet, I start scrolling through my phone. Photos, videos, texts, flashes of us laughing, fighting, holding each other late at night, and with each image, the void of betrayal stretches wider. I stop at a picture of my laptop sitting on my desk, glowing softly, the cursor blinking, the unfinished script staring at me. My chest tightens. It's not just the machine, it's the stories I told, my thoughts, my secrets, my voice, my world. I lost it all, I whisper. The words are fragile, almost inaudible. He took more than a laptop. He took me. Sophie Sepp's hand brushes mine. You didn't set lose yourself. Not completely. That anger? That fire? That Sepp's the part he can set touch. I look at her, her words sting and soothe at the same time. Anger thrums beneath my ribs, slow and steady at first, then faster, a pulse I can't ignore. Anger, I murmur. Maybe that sip's all I have left. She tilts her head. No. That sip's the beginning. You can let it drive you, or you can let it destroy you. But you don't sit have to stay broken. A laugh, low and bitter, escapes me. Broken. He wants me broken. But I don't set think I will be. I sit back, staring at my hands. The shaking has slowed, but my chest is still heavy. Tight. Memories flash again. The arguments, the laughter, the betrayal, and beneath it something else. Something growing, sharp, potent. I can stet go back, I say quietly. I can stet go bat him think he won. Not this time. Sophie nods, her grip firm, then Dawn sect. Use it, everything he took, turn it into your strength. I close my eyes, picturing the laptop, Ethan holding it, smug, thinking he's clever, and a spark ignites in me. Not grief, not despair, something darker, sharper, like the first whisper of revenge. You don't set get to erase me, I murmur under my breath. Not my stories, not my world, not me. Sophie smiles faintly, almost imperceptibly. Good, that seps the start. I lean back into the couch, letting the anger settle into a rhythm. My chest still aches, but it's no longer just grief. It's fire, it's power. For the first time since the theft, I feel awake. And I know something, I won't be the same. Not broken, not lost. Just ready. Sophie's laugh echoes in my mind, distant. I barely hear her as I sip my coffee trying to anchor myself in normalcy. Then my phone buzzes. A text from Maya, a mutual friend. I open it not expecting anything, and my world tilts. Guess what Ethan said the other day? I freeze. My stomach twists. My fingers grip the phone too hard. What? I type back, voice trembling even in text. He bragged about reading your scripts. Every word, told everyone how intimate sect they were. How smart you are. I stare at the screen, blink. Then my chest tightens, sharp and cold. I feel vomit rise, and rage and disbelief. He read them? My private thoughts, my confessions, my soul on those pages. He thought it was a joke, thought he was clever, thought he was untouchable. I pace, I bite my lip. I replay every line I ever wrote for myself, for no one else, now twisted into a weapon in his hands. You did what? I whisper aloud, voice shaking. I can hear him, smug, in my mind. Just reading, no big deal. No big deal? My words, my secrets, my life, he used them for his amusement. He flaunted them. I sink into the couch, staring at the blank wall, my mind races, fear mixes with fury, a cocktail I've never tasted before. I picture him, laughing, thinking he's above me. Untouchable, untouchable, he was wrong. I call Sophie, voice low, sharp. Maya told me. He read everything. I know, Sophie says softly. I didn't want to be the one to tell you. Did he tell anyone else? My words are jagged. I don't want to know, but I need to. Sophie hesitates. A few people. But, it's Seps how I found out. You sir not alone. Alone. I was never alone, but he made me feel like I was, like no one could see, like my world was his to plunder. I close my eyes, heartbeat loud, and then curiosity, a dark, sharp edge to it. What else did he say? Who else did he show it to? I picture confrontation. Walking up to him, voice steady, cold. You read them. You bragged. Why? He set smirk. Of course he would. I just wanted to know you better. I laugh bitterly, sharp and hollow. Know me better by stealing my words. By violating me. That smirk in my mind fuels something darker, sharper. Exposure? Maybe. A public shaming. Let him feel small, embarrassed, cornered. But I'm not done. Not just yet. Poetic justice begins to form, slow, deliberate, a plan that doesn't scream, doesn't rush. Something quiet, patient, something that will sting long after he forgets my face. I imagine leaving a trail, breadcrumbs only I understand, scripts with subtle changes, references only I can track, clues that will whisper his betrayal back to him in ways he can't ignore. I tap the edge of my coffee cup, counting beats. Every possibility unfolds in my mind. Confrontation, exposure, manipulation. He thought he could play with me, thought he could take what wasn't his and walk away. He thought wrong. I pace the apartment, each step a drumbeat of realization. My scripts, my words are more than pages. They are ammunition, they are memory, they are truth. And now, they can be justice. I pick up my notebook, the one I didn't let him touch. Flip through the pages, tracing my own handwriting. Every line now feels heavier, weightier, purposeful, a seed waiting to bloom. Ethan, I whisper, voice low, dark, you should have left them alone. The first pangs of power hum beneath my skin, the kind of power that's patient, careful, deliberate, not reckless, not blind. I imagine the look on his face when he realizes I'm no longer the one who's lost, when he realizes that I see him, and that seeing him is enough to start unraveling everything he thought he controlled. I don't rush it. I sit back, let the silence settle. The apartment hums with it, electric, expectant. The betrayal is sharp, still bleeding, but underneath a strange satisfaction, a vindication, slow and simmering. The curiosity grows. What else did he underestimate? How far did his arrogance reach? I smile, faint, almost imperceptibly. Not because I forgive, not because it's over, because now I understand. And understanding is power, and power is the first step toward revenge. I close the notebook, steady my hands. The plan is just beginning. Ethan thought he was untouchable. He's about to learn how wrong he was. I lock the door and sit at my desk. The apartment is quiet, heavy, expectant. My laptop isn't here, but my notebook is, pages blank. Lines waiting. I pick up the pen and the words start tumbling out. Sharp, jagged, honest. He's selfish, cowardly, charming only when it serves him. He hides behind smiles and charm while trampling everything he touches. I write it all. Every insult, every betrayal, every fear I swallowed for weeks. Sophie said anger is fire. I feel it flowing into the ink, scorching the pages, giving them weight. The characters emerge like shadows. Not real people, not yet, but I know them. I've lived them, every dialogue a reflection, every plot a confession. And then he appears, Ethan, or someone unmistakably like him. The coward, the thief, the liar, I don't hold back. He becomes central, every flaw magnified, every cruelty mirrored in stark detail. I whisper aloud, this is it. You start going to see yourself. The pen scratches faster. Each line becomes armor, each page a trap, every scene a whispered promise. My phone buzzes. Dr. Hale. Therapy session in an hour. I stare at the pages. I wonder if I'm writing for healing or for revenge. When I arrive, Dr. Hale's office smells of lavender and paper. Calm, safe. You've been quiet, he says, adjusting his glasses. Writing a lot? I nod, hesitant. Yes. Trying to process. He leans back, watching me. Are you writing for healing? Or for revenge? The words hit me like a cold gust. I frown. I both? He studies me. Both is dangerous. Both is powerful. Are you ready to face what you start creating? I take a deep breath, gripping the notebook. Every character, every story is a reflection, and one of them, he still recognize himself. Dr. Hale tilts his head. And what will that do for you? I pause, thinking. It steps control. For the first time in weeks, I control the narrative. I control the story. My pain, my anger, my words, they belong to me now. He nods slowly. Good, then let it teach you. Let it guide you. But remember, fiction can hurt them until you know why it heals you first. I leave his office, head buzzing, notebook tucked under my arm. Each step feels lighter. Purposeful, determined. Back home, I dive deeper. I write scenes where the betrayer faces consequences only he would understand. Dialogue that cuts too close. Plots that sting like truth. I whisper to the empty apartment, "This is you, Ethan. Every flaw, every lie, all mirrored back." Sometimes I stop, read a line aloud, and the words taste like vindication. Sometimes I pause, trembling because the hurt is still raw, but mostly I write. The characters shift. Friends, lovers, strangers, they all carry pieces of my life, but Ethan, or the shadow of him, threads through every page, central, unavoidable. I find myself smiling faintly, almost imperceptibly, not out of forgiveness, not relief. Control. That's what it is. I'm no longer a victim. I'm the author, the architect, the one holding the pen. And in these pages, my revenge incubates quietly, patiently, waiting for the right moment. Waiting for him to see himself reflected in the fiction he cannot ignore. I look at the clock. Hours have passed. My hand aches. My heart pounds. And yet satisfaction hums beneath the fatigue. I read a line aloud, voice low, deliberate. He thought he could touch everything and get away. He thought no one would see. He thought he was untouchable. But every action leaves a mark. My chest tightens. My hands tremble. That mark, it's mine to write. My words become armor, shields against grief, anger, helplessness, and swords too, sharp and silent. I imagine his face reading it, the slow realization, the sting, and a strange thrill hums beneath my ribs. Not cruelty, not malice, justice, reflection, poetic, inevitable, quiet. I flip to a new page, blank, waiting, expectant. I grin. This is mine now. Every fragment, every memory, every word. He can steal it again. He can touch it. I write into the night, into exhaustion, into catharsis, into power. And for the first time in weeks, I feel whole. Not healed, not completely, but armed, prepared. And that is enough. I sit at my desk, notebook open, fingers hovering over my phone. My heart hammers. Every message I send feels like a gamble. I take a deep breath. This is it. The first real step. The script must circulate. Carefully. Trusted friends only. Sophie, Max. The ones who understand me. Who understand why I write. Who will hold the story without betraying it. I type. Hey, want to read something? Be honest. I need feedback. Sophie responds instantly. Of course, send it. Max hesitates. Are you sure? Yes, I reply, almost too quickly. Just read, that's all. I attach the file, send, and then I wait. It steps risky, fragile, delicious. Because he doesn't no yet. A few hours later, my phone buzzes. Ethan. Hey, just saw your group chat. Is that your new story? I smile. Low, almost a whisper. My pulse quickens. He doesn't know. He has no idea it's him. Not yet. Yeah. I type casually, trying some new ideas. You still like it, maybe. He laughs in text. Haha. Your writing is so dramatic, always has been. You really pour your soul into it, huh? I read the message. Stomach tight. A cocktail of fury and exhilaration. He's unknowingly walking into it. Every line he thinks is fiction. Every character he dismisses as drama is him. My words are cages, and he's straying right inside. Sophie messages me. He's sexting. Be careful. I am, I reply. It's Stup's fine. Let him stew. Max chimes in too. You start enjoying this too much. I grin. Maybe. But it sips art. And patience. I watch him. Carefully. Obsessively. Every message he sends is fuel. Every joke about my dramatic writing sharpens the edge of my plan. Seriously, you should calm down. He texts a few hours later. It's Step's just a story. Don Steck gets so wrapped up. I bite my lip. Oh, I sum wrapped up. Completely. I respond slowly, deliberately. Stories are dangerous when they sup are real, Ethan. You should know that by now. No reply yet. Perfect. The suspense gnaws at me. Every group chat ping makes my chest tighten. Every notification could be him noticing, or not noticing. Either way, the tension grows. Delicious. Dangerous. Sophie calls me, voice low. You start going too far. Am I? I whisper, pacing. He took everything from me. He read my scripts. Bragged about them, thought he was untouchable. Dawn's set. Let it consume you, she warns. I shake my head. It steps not consuming me. It steps focus, control. He doesn't step no, Sophie. Not yet. And when he does, he steps see himself. And it steps sing. Max laughs softly on speaker. You star a little terrifying. Maybe, I admit, smiling darkly, but necessary. I go back to the script, revising lines subtly, tweaks here, a reference there, details that only he will recognize, scenes that cut close, characters that mirror his arrogance. Every edit, every sentence, is a trap, a mirror he won't realize he's staring into. Hours pass. My phone buzzes again. Ethan. Okay, so that character who sits kinda like me? My pulse spikes. Yes, exactly. Maybe, a little familiar. I type casually. Who could it be? He laughs in text. Haha. Don't be dramatic. It steps just fiction. I let it sit. Silence stretches. He's oblivious. He's always been oblivious. And that makes it perfect. Sophie messages. You start playing with fire. I know, I reply. But I sept while holding the match. Each new read from my friends feeds the fire. They laugh, they cry, they comment. I watch every reaction, carefully noting what lands, what stings, what bites. I check my phone obsessively, waiting for him to catch on. He doesn't, not yet. And that anticipation, that slow burn hums under my skin. I text him casually, careful, you might see yourself too clearly. He doesn't reply. Of course not. I imagine his face, reading the lines, the slow realization, the sting, and I smile faintly, almost imperceptibly. Every joke he sends, every casual reference to my work, every little mockery, fuel for the fire that's building quietly, carefully, deliberately. By the end of the day, I lean back in my chair, my hands ache, my chest is tight, but satisfaction hums beneath it all. I whisper to myself, almost reverently, he has no idea what Sep's coming. The suspense, the patience, the anticipation, it's intoxicating. Every message, every laugh, every poke of oblivion draws him deeper into the story I'm crafting. Sophie calls again, soft, cautious. Promise me, don't lose yourself in this. I I whisper. I step in control. Finally, he steps the story, and I stamp the author, and authors decide the ending. I glance at my screen, a new notification. Ethan, typing, and I wait. Patience, precision, power. The trap is set, and I am ready. The theater smells like varnish and anticipation. My hands shake just a little as I clutch my notebook. But this isn't fear, this is control, power, focus. I glance at the attendees. Sophie and Max are there, smiling faintly, supportive. Alex, Lily co-workers who've seen pieces of Ethan's arrogance but never in full context, take their seats. And then, he saunters in, smug, curious. That familiar half-smile I used to love now feels like a challenge. He doesn't know whose script he's about to hear. Glad you could make it, I murmur, more to myself than anyone else. I clear my throat, flip the notebook open. Thank you everyone for coming. Tonight I shall read something new. I hope it entertains. The first lines roll off my tongue. Characters whisper, argue, flirt, collide. But one character, unmistakably arrogant, careless, charming only to serve himself, threads through every scene, every dialogue a dagger, every joke a reflection. I hear laughter from the audience. Gasps. Murmurs. They react exactly as I imagined. And then, his reaction. Ethan stiffens, arms crossed, smile faltering, the charm, the ego, cracking, uneven, fragile. A line I wrote aloud. He thinks the world bends to him, but he bends nothing but his own morals. The room laughs, sharp, precise, eyes glance at him, he shifts, uneasy. I continue, voice steady, every favor he gives is calculated, every apology strategic, every smile hides a hand in someone else, Sep's pocket. He swallows, jaw tight, lines aimed at his selfishness, his manipulations, his betrayals. They hit like mirrors, mirrors he can't break, can't walk away from. Alex leans toward Lily, whispering, "Wow, that Sep's intense." I smile faintly, almost imperceptibly, not cruelly, perfectly justified. "Do you ever wonder," I read, voice low, deliberate, "if your reflection ever shows the truth? Or do you only see the version you like?" Ethan shifts again. His fingers drum on his leg. The room is silent for a heartbeat, hanging on the tension. I glance at him. Every twitch, every tightened fist. Beautiful. I taste the triumph. Tempered. Controlled. Another line. He promises the world but only delivers chaos. And when chaos returns, he blames everyone but himself. Gasps. Laughter. Some nodding knowingly, and Ethan, frozen. Eyes darting, mind spinning, ego unraveling publicly, invisibly. I pause for effect. Let it sink in. Let the words hang in the air, heavy and undeniable. He thought he could charm, manipulate, play the hero in every story, even mine. I watch his smile fade, replaced by something raw. Recognition. Regret, confusion, and maybe, shame. The room reacts again, chuckles, murmurs, whispered comments. I don't have to say anything more. The scene does the work. The words, carefully crafted, expose him. I finish the reading. Quiet now, tension hanging. I close the notebook slowly. "Thank you," I say softly, "for listening." Applause. Genuine, warm, approving. But my eyes are on him, Ethan, the arrogant, untouchable man I once loved and trusted. His face is pale, lips pressed tight, the charm that always deflected blame and discomfort, gone. "You, he stammers, voice low, almost inaudible. I don't answer. Not now. Not ever. The words did. The mirror I held up. He sees himself. Finally, publicly, undeniable. Max leans over to Sophie, whispering, "You did it. She nailed him." Sophie smiles faintly. She always does. I walk off the small stage, notebook pressed to my chest. Triumph floods me. Not cruelty. Not revenge for revenge's sake. Just justice, poetic, precise, earned. I feel lighter. The betrayal I carried, the theft, the arrogance, the manipulation witnessed, reflected, acknowledged. Ethan rises, hesitates, his voice cracks. "That was you." I glance over, eyes steady. "Yes, and I hope it made you think." He looks around, half challenged, half humbled. The room's quiet but for soft applause. Colleagues, friends, everyone sees the truth now. I whisper to myself, almost reverently, this is what it feels like to be seen and to see in return. Ethan opens his mouth again, but no words form. His ego fraying, the charm absent. He's human now. Vulnerable, exposed. I let the silence stretch. Let it do the work the words began. Sophie nudges me gently. "You did it, really." I nod, smile faintly. Finally, he gets a taste of his own arrogance. Just the tiniest taste, but enough. We gather our things, walking out of the theater. Ethan lingers a moment, unsure. He doesn't speak. The public mirror is complete. The lesson delivered. I feel something settle in me, not satisfaction alone, but closure. My betrayal, my stolen words, my stolen voice, restored in impact, restored in control. The night air hits me, cool, clean. I inhaled deeply. The story, my story, has won. Ethan, He finally understands. And I am whole again. The theater is emptying. The applause has faded, leaving a hum of murmurs and echoes. My notebook rests against my chest, worn and heavy with words, and I feel steady, finally steady. Then a shadow falls across the doorway. Hey, his voice, smooth, controlled but laced with something I've heard before, anger masked by pride. I glance up, Ethan, his posture rigid, eyes narrowed, that smirk, the one that used to charm, is gone. Why did you do that? He sneers. Sharp, cutting, but not enough, not nearly enough. I tilt my head, calm, deliberate, because you needed to see yourself. The words hang in the air, heavy. I watch him process, slowly, the realization seeps in, inch by inch. He opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again. That wasn't spit fair. I didn't spit. I cut him off, voice low, icy. Fair? Do you even understand what that word means? His jaw tightens, rage simmers beneath the surface, trying to hide behind a thin veil of arrogance. But I see it. I see the cracks. You took my words, bragged about them, showed them around. I did what you did, I say softly, watching him flinch. I reflected you, nothing more, nothing less. He swallows, eyes darting. But people laughed at me. Yes, they saw you. My voice sharpens, precise. For once, Ethan, they saw you. The arrogance, the selfishness, the manipulations, all mirrored back, and it hurts. Doesn't set it. He stiffens, silent now. Words fail him, his pride battles with the truth, but the truth wins. Slowly, inevitably, I take a step closer. Not threatening, not aggressive, just present, strong, anchored. You thought you could touch everything, take everything, and walk away untouched. That stops now. He runs a hand through his hair, frustrated. You set, cruel. I smile faintly, almost imperceptibly. I sopped him not cruel. I sopped him precise. I sopped him justified. I sopped him done letting you define me. His eyes widen, recognition, regret, maybe shame. The human flaw beneath the ego laid bare. You made it about me, he mutters. All of it. I nod. Calm, clear. Yes, because it always was, you just didn't realize it until it reflected back. And now, maybe you understand. He gapes, searching for words, but they crumble under the weight of his own reflection. I didn't know it would. Of course you didn't I say softly. You never think about anyone but yourself. That steps the point. Silence stretches, the only sound are breaths, slow, deliberate, heavy with unspoken truths. I feel the liberation hum beneath my skin, the rage that has built for weeks, months, funneled into control, into words, into precision. It's gone, dissipated, replaced by clarity. Ethan's shoulders slump slightly. The pride that once made him untouchable is shattered, fragile. He's human, he's flawed, vulnerable, exposed. I watch him struggle, swallowing his own defenses, and I realize I don't hate him anymore. Not like before, not with that raw, jagged ache. I step back. This isn't sept punishment. Not really, it's sep's reflection. Poetic, inevitable, and necessary. You see yourself now, that sep's all. He opens his mouth again. Dawn. Dawn set say anything. I cut in gently, firmly. Just see. He exhales sharply. His eyes flicker, searching for a foothold, a justification, some way to reclaim dignity. There is none. I feel a weight lift. The betrayal, the theft, the rage, all distilled into this moment. My words have done their work. Justice doesn't scream. It whispers, it mirrors, it pierces quietly but irrevocably. You were always so blind, I say. Voice low, blind to what you take, blind to what you destroy. He swallows again, pale, lips pressed tight. No response, only comprehension, slow, painful. I straighten, step away, free, whole finally. Goodbye, Ethan, I whisper. I hope one day you truly see yourself. Fully, honestly, without excuses. He doesn't reply. Can't. The confrontation is over. But he knows. Knows everything he's done. Knows the exposure. Knows the reflection. And I am whole. I leave the theater, the cool night air hitting my face. Clean, clear, empty of anger, empty of fear, filled with control, filled with clarity. Sophie and Max meet me outside. Silent smiles. No words needed. The confrontation was mine. The liberation mine. I breathe deeply. One last glance at the building, the stage, the echoes. Everything that hurt me, everything that stole from me, reflected back, acknowledged and concluded. And I step forward, finally free. The park is quiet. Early morning light filters through the trees. Soft, forgiving, leaves whisper beneath my feet. I walk slowly, deliberately, letting the air fill my lungs. Weeks have passed since the reading, since the confrontation, since I finally let it go. The script, it's out there now. Online, shared, read, praised. Not for revenge, not for exposing him, but for truth, for raw emotion, for the way I bled onto the page and turned it into art. I remember the nights spent typing furiously, rewriting, revising every nuance until it mirrored not just the betrayal but the triumph. That fire I carried, it wasn't just for him, it was for me. I pause at a bench, sit, watch a child chase a stray dog, laughter spilling into the morning. I smile faintly. Life goes on. Life always goes on. I think about Ethan, about the arrogance, the theft, the lies, about the way he looked at me before, as if I were a puzzle to manipulate, a story to steal. I shake my head, softly. That version of me, angry, hurt, desperate for justice, is gone. I don't need him to acknowledge my pain. I don't need him to regret. I whisper to myself, almost in awe, I am enough. I always was. The park stretches out before me. Familiar paths, quiet benches, the smell of earth and morning dew. I see my reflection in a small pond, ripples distorting it, yet my eyes remain steady. Clear. Whole. Weeks ago I would have passed this pond, eyes averted, consumed by obsession, imagining him everywhere, hearing him in every rustle of leaves. But not now. I ascend free. I take my phone out, scroll through the comments on the published script. People I don't yet know, strangers writing things like, "This is haunting, beautiful, honest." Every word hits. I've never read anything so raw. It seeps like living someone else, seeps pain but also their triumph. I read each one slowly, savoring it. This is my victory, not humiliation, not retaliation, not vindication, but truth, art, empowerment. I close my eyes, feel the sun warm my face, hear the birds above, the distant sound of a jogger's footfalls, a mother calling her child's name, the ordinary, the fleeting, and yet perfect. I murmur, I don't set need him, I don't set need anyone else to see me, I see myself. The wind stirs, leaves twirl, a few fall into the pond, ripples distort their reflection. Life moves, life shifts, and I shift with it. I remember Sophie, Max, even Dr. Hale, the voices who reminded me of my own strength, the people who grounded me when anger threatened to consume. I feel gratitude but not dependence. Strength is mine, power is mine, the words, the story, the journey, it all belongs to me. I stand, stretching. Take a deep breath. The notebook, the one I kept hidden for weeks, rests at home. The pages, the words, the fire, immortalized, not for him, not for anyone but me. A couple walks by, holding hands, their laughter light, unguarded. I watch them, and a quiet smile plays on my lips. I remember the laughter I almost lost, the joy almost stolen by obsession, by betrayal. But now, I reclaim it. I whisper again, softly, to no one, to everything. This is mine, all of it. My voice, my story, my life. I continue walking, steps slow, deliberate, each one grounded. I notice the texture of the path beneath my shoes, the way the sunlight glints on the pond's surface, the sound of wind through the branches. Simple, ordinary, sacred. I don't feel emptiness. I feel fullness, peace, liberation. Rage has dissolved. Obsession has faded. Betrayal has transformed into wisdom, into art, into empowerment. I think of the script, the confrontation, the mirror I held up for him, and I realize something profound. I don't need him to see. I don't need validation. I don't need revenge to feel complete. I zoom whole. I stop at the highest point of the path. Look out across the park. Trees sway, shadows stretch, birds soar, and I smile, small but certain, a victory not measured in others' humiliation, but in my own reclamation. Silence wraps around me, soft and steady, and in that silence, I understand the sweetest triumph isn't loud, it isn't revenge, it isn't recognition, it is peace, quiet, clarity, control, self-possession. I breathe again, slowly, deeply, and whisper one final time. I am free. And I walk on, unburdened, whole, empowered, finally at rest. I sip my coffee, watching sunlight spill across the cafe floor. The warmth is comforting, ordinary, and yet new. Finally, you made it on time. Jordan teases, eyes bright, smile easy. I know, I reply, laughing softly. Traffic was murder, and somehow my phone decided to die mid-text. Jordan shakes their head, mock exasperated. Some things never change. I grin, feeling the familiarity of life returning. Not the chaos, not the obsession, not the betrayal, but simple human moments. Moments I thought I'd lost. Have you been writing? Jordan asks, genuinely curious. I nod. Every day, but differently now. Not for revenge, not to expose anyone, just truth, life, feeling. Jordan leans closer, voice soft. I read some of your pieces, they sep powerful, honest. You sep incredible. The praise stings and soothes at the same time. I clear my throat. Thanks. It's dead strange. I thought I stet be exhausted, empty after everything. But I stet meme not. I stet meme learning to breathe again. Jordan smiles, fingers brushing mine across the table. Small, careful, electric, cautious, like I am. You have changed, they say softly. But in a good way, stronger, wiser, not hardened, just steady. I pause, thinking. I learned that scars don't have to hide me. They remind me. Remind me that strength is instead avoiding pain, it's steps transforming it, making it into something extraordinary. Jordan nods. I think that spet's beautiful, and I admire it, you. I blush slightly, looking away, letting the words settle in my chest like sunlight, warm, inviting. Later I meet Sophie and Max at our favorite spot in the park. Their faces are bright, familiar, grounding. So how's the cafe adventure? Sophie asks, teasing. I grin. It seps nice. Jordan seps incredible, kind, patient, and persistent. Max laughs. Good. You deserve that. You have earned it. I feel a pang, not of longing, not of loss, but of gratitude. The past shapes me, yes, but it doesn't define the present. I am cautious, I admit. I carry my scars. I see echoes of the past sometimes, but I navigate them differently now. Wisely, carefully, I don't run from life anymore. Sophie reaches over, squeezing my hand. And that sip's exactly why you sip are ready. You sip are not the same person who let someone steal your voice. I smile, letting their words sink in. Strong, supportive, present. Walking home later, I pause on a bridge overlooking the river. Water glints like broken glass in the sun, fragmented reflections merging into something whole. I see myself there, not the girl who trembled with betrayal, not the one consumed with rage, but me, strong, whole, open to possibility. Jordan Sepp's voice calls softly behind me. Hey, wait up. I turn. They fall into step beside me, quiet, comfortable. The kind of silence that doesn't suffocate, but holds promise. I like this, I say softly. The calm, the chance to start fresh. Jordan smiles, eyes gentle. Me too, but also, I know your past is there. I see it, and I don't want to erase it. I want to walk forward with you. I stop, searching their eyes, finding no judgment, no impatience, only acceptance. That sep's rare, I murmur, but exactly what I need right now. We walk together, side by side, footsteps echoing softly against the pavement. Sunlight drapes us both. I think about everything, the betrayal, the stolen words, the confrontation, the public reflection, the lessons etched into me not just as scars but as armor and compass. Elise been ready, I whisper, almost to myself, ready for life again, for connection, for love, for possibility. Jordan squeezes my hand gently, and I still be here. The river stretches ahead, wide, bright, possibilities ripple across its surface. I take a deep breath. Hope hums through me, steady, alive. I glance back at my friends, at Jordan, at the world opening again. Scars remain, they always will, but they are not chains. They are reminders, reminders of strength, resilience, and the extraordinary life I'm building. I step forward carefully, wisely, boldly, and I know this is just the beginning. I sit at my desk, the screen glowing softly in the dim light. Fingers hover over the keyboard. My heart is calm, focused, steady. This is it, I whisper to myself. The last one, the end of the story. I begin typing. Not rage, not anger, not obsession, only truth. Gratitude, lessons learned, growth earned. To everyone who's read, shared, or supported my journey. Thank you. Thank you for witnessing my truth, for letting me turn pain into art, betrayal into insight. I've learned more than I ever imagined. I've healed, I've grown, and I've found my voice. This story is mine now, entirely mine, and I hope it inspires courage, honesty, and strength in each of you. I pause, reread the words. They feel heavy with meaning, light with release. The final message isn't about him. It hasn't been for weeks. It's about me. I hit post. Moments later, notifications flood in. Comments, likes, shares, people reaching out, sharing their own stories, their own struggles, their own triumphs. I read a few aloud quietly, smiling softly. Your words hit deep. Thank you for your honesty. Iceberg never related to something so personally incredible. This is the story of resilience. And then there's one comment that freezes me for a second. Ethan. Lurking. Predictable. Obvious. Wow, didn't Set know you felt that way. I smile faintly, feeling a quiet thrill. He doesn't understand. He never did. Every step, every word, every scene I crafted, it was measured, deliberate, precise. He thought he was untouchable, but here, he has no power. None. I scroll past him, ignore him, because his presence doesn't matter. I am unbroken. I am complete. I lean back in my chair, closing my eyes briefly, breathing, feeling the weight of months lift off my shoulders. The anger, the hurt, the obsession, they've all dissolved into something greater: control, art, mastery, liberation. Sophie texts me. Saw your post? Tears. Seriously, you are amazing. I reply simply. Thank you, means a lot. Jordan calls softly. I read it, all of it. You are phenomenal. I so proud of you. I smile, letting the warmth settle in. Thank you. I feel free. It's funny, in a way, the story that began with theft, betrayal, rage, and heartbreak has ended not with revenge, not with exposure, but with beauty. Closure. My narrative completed. My voice restored. I think back to the first moment I realized my laptop was gone. Panic, disbelief, rage. I could never have imagined that every fragment of pain would become this. This story, this message, this empowerment, that the betrayal would elevate me rather than break me. I glance at the screen again, at the flowing comments from people I've never met, faces and names scattered across the globe, drawn into my narrative, my voice. They don't know the whole story. They don't need to. They see the courage, the honesty, the strength. And in this, I recognize something profound. True victory isn't humiliation. It isn't forcing recognition. It isn't crushing someone else. It's reclaiming yourself, fully, completely. I stretch, hands over my head, feeling the ache of tension and the lightness of release. My heart is steady. My mind is clear. My story is no longer entwined with his. It is mine, beautifully mine. I close my laptop gently, a quiet exhale escaping me. Outside, the world continues, bright and indifferent, and I am ready to continue with it. To create, to live, to explore new horizons without fear, without baggage, without him. I glance at a photo of Jordan on my desk. My friends, my life beyond the past. And I whisper softly, as if to seal it in the air, I am whole, I am free, and I am mine. A notification buzzes. Another comment, another like, another person acknowledging the journey, the story, the resilience. I smile quietly, leaning back, watching the sunlight play across the room. Victory doesn't roar here. It doesn't need to. It lives in silence, in control, in the calm certainty of survival, growth, and self-possession. And I am triumphant, independent, empowered, at peace. The story is over, the cycle complete, the reflection exact. And I step forward, finally fully and beautifully free.